What's up, guys? Welcome back to Roblox Talk. Today, I want to look at the possibility that at number 19, the Buccaneers go after an offensive player. I know Plus and I have been talking a lot about defensive prospects, but I mean, we got to look at the possibility that they do look at offense. And I have the Bucs depth chart up here. I mean, looking at it, when you look at first round pick, you want a guy that's going to start immediately day one, usually, right? Or guys can have a massive impact on your team. So if you're looking at our overall offensive talent here that we have, a lot of people have been saying wide receiver. I wouldn't necessarily think where, because you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both, I mean, alpha dogs, guys that are pretty much Hall of Famers in the flesh. And then you have Jalen McMillan, who came on strong, immediately strong at the end of the season, 8 touchdowns, rising guy in himself. And then you have guys beneath him. Yeah, Sterling Shepard signed back. Trey Palmer had little flashes of speed 2 years ago. Last year, not so much. Raheem Jarrett, you always hear his name called. Ryan Miller had splash plays all last year as well. So to me, you're 3 deep, and then you have guys behind them that are just scratching for the back of the depth chart, almost just special teamers. So if you're going to draft a first-round wide receiver, I just don't see it unless it's going to be taking Jalen McMillan's role, or you're in the camp that says, oh, what if they get hurt? I mean, that's every team every year. There's going to be injuries as part of the game. You're not going to have a number one receiver as your 4th or 5th type guy. It just isn't going to happen. So I just don't see that. But then you never know what could fall to you. Offensive line, we have everyone signed in already. I mean, Tristan Wirfs signed in. Bredesen just signed a big contract, right? Graham Barton just drafted last year, showing signs that he could be improving and be that center that we want to solidify this line. Cody Mock literally showed amazing signs last year. Just maturation, bigger body, very much a good athlete. I like where we're sitting. Gedeke, he's got to get that contract because he has solidified that right tackle spot. Which brings me to the only other positions: quarterback, running back, and tight end. Quarterback, we're locked up, guys. It's Baker Mayfield show. Let's see how far we can ride it. Bucky, Rashad White, Sean Tucker. The running back room is loaded. Do we sign back Rashad, Sean Tucker? What's going to happen there? But Bucky is solidified as number 1, clearly based off of his rookie year last year. So the only position to me, this long-winded thing, was all about tight end 1, Cade Otton. He showed amazing glimpses last year. He showed his consistent play after play after play. When Mike Evans and Chris Godwin went down, the man became the number 1 option, and he put up numbers, insane numbers, right? But was that because he was the only option, right? So they had to force feed him. Also, let's put this into perspective. Our offense is driven by the receivers. I mean, it was based off Liam Cohen. Is it going to be different with our new play caller? Let's see, right? Grizzard, let's see. What is he going to do? Is it going to be a little sprinkle of tight end? I don't know. But to me, this whole video is based off of where can you improve the biggest, and that guy actually start day one. And Cade Otton, even though he's been like your starter 99% of the time, he's in 99% of the snaps. Could he get upgraded over? I would think so, right? And if you're looking at the guys that are in this draft, you have 2 tight ends that are going they're like top 20 players, and they're only falling in mock drafts because of the position. But besides Travis Kelce, the drop off is massive, and now no one really uses the tight end as heavily as Kansas City does. So does Cade Otton match up to a guy like Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland? I don't necessarily know. And we have film studies coming out on them later. If a guy like that falls to the Bucs at 19, I would entertain that aspect. I wouldn't necessarily entertain a receiver. Hell no, and entertain an offensive lineman because we're pretty deep there. Quarterback, no. Running back, hell no. I just think tight end is the only viable option. And I want to go with Joel Klatt. It's another guy that I follow, big draft guy with college football. Let's hear what he had to say about these 2 tight ends and how highly he sees them.
And he will win and separate. So you don't have to scheme for him, but he can win one-on-one matchups for you. That's a little bit of a difference. See, Warren, they scheme for. You can be creative with him, and you can exploit space in that way. Colston creates his own space, and that's why I've got Colston Loveland ahead of Tyler Warren, although they're both in my top 5. And this is what I hate about this process. Somebody in the comments is going to be like, what's your problem with Tyler Warren? Nothing. He's in my top 5. I love him. But you've got to differentiate at some point, and that's why or how I differentiated between those 2.
Crazy, right? You put him in his top 5 of his top 50 board of all the college players coming into the draft. So as you can see, players beneath him, you have Jalen Walker, Will Campbell, Shadur Sanders, Will Johnson, Cam Ward. You have guys that literally have been in the mention of top 10 in the draft. And you have 2 tight ends. I haven't really seen many of them in the top 10 of any mock drafts. I mean, Tyler Warren, yeah, I've seen. They're comparing him to Jeremy Shockey, a do-it-all type of guy. Colston Loveland, he has rated higher than him. I see him. Colston Loveland is more of a bigger receiver. Well, again, I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to do a film study on him because he's the only one that I think would possibly make it to 19. But if you can get a guy that he is almost a big receiver, you can use him immediately in a receiving fashion. You can use him off the line and still play Cade Otton on the line because that's where Cade's best. I mean, the way you can move guys around, it's all about what puzzle pieces do you have to beat the defense. And a guy like that thrown into already a Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Bucky Irvin, Cade Otton, Jalen McMillan, I think would be a disaster for any defense to cover. Who the hell do you cover? And it's another big body. We have speed, athleticism, size, and it's adding that, which is adds such a crazy wrinkle. So it makes you think, okay, if we're going offense, that would be an area I would think to upgrade over, right? And Cade Otton, I love him. The guy is so consistent, but like this is a team game. We got to find ways where we can always find a way to get better as a team. And if all the defensive options are gone, that we look and he's that much rated higher than the next defensive player on our board, why the hell not? I think we've heard Jason Light kind of persuading Todd Bowles. Guess what, guys? Like this guy's pretty damn good, and if we have an option of getting him, why wouldn't we take an offensive player? Even though, yes, we do need upgrades on defense, right? What if this is the one offensive player we take, and then in the rest of the draft, it's all defense? I would not be upset about that, especially if it's guys that they dub are Buccaneer men, can fit the roles that they want, the scheme perfectly. I think it would be a good option. But this video is more just getting your head kind of thinking, if a guy like that does fall to them, what would that look like? And yeah, we're going to have a film study coming out. Can't wait for that one. Guys, let us know down below what you think of the tight end option in the first round for the Buccaneers. And yeah, let us know in the comment section down below. And with that said, until the next one.